Welcome to Fort Dram and Goal. We got our buddies from Chicago here in our virtual man cave, but we're not going to do cliche things like talk about Kanye West or use outdated SNL lines, or maybe we will a little bit. So grab a glass, put the game on mute, and take a listen.
Let's do this. Oh shit, I forgot to record again.
That is awesome.
Okay. Welcome to Fort Dram and Goal. I'm your boy Kurt. I got my boy Dick here. Say what's up, Dick.
What's up, Drammers? And we got our boys from Bourbon Matters. Y'all want to introduce yourselves real quick?
I'm Jake.
I'm Dan.
I'm Roberto PDL.
All right.
Bourbon Matters in the house. So tonight, before Dick hits us with all the socials, we're going to talk about our little collaboration that we're doing. We're going to talk some sports. We're going to talk some good whiskey. We're going to get into the little differences and maybe similarities that we got here in Texas and they got up there in Chicago. I got a feeling there's not going to be too many. But before we do all that and have a good night, Dick, let people know where we could hear us.
All right, Drammers and Bourbon Matters followers, as you're listening to this episode, it's a good thing to always make sure that you're helping us grow our shows. Tell your friends about us, making sure you're following us on Spotify, subscribing on YouTube, and then liking and subscribing on all the different podcast streaming apps out there. The best way to get in contact with us is through our Instagram at Fourth Dram. You can go through our link tree right there, see our website as well as our Spotify. And I'll kick it to the Bourbon Matters guys real quick to give us all their contact info.
Wow, they're so much more professional than
I know. I was
Way,
like, wow. I feel
way
like an
more.
amateur here. I feel like I'm playing in the live, league, whatever it is. We're the PGA. You guys are the live.
Nice.
Well, you're getting way more money than we are.
Yeah, but you guys have a lot more followers. So
And we're getting zero money.
Yeah, I think we got
Still-
$5.
still-
Yeah, we're
still
at
more than
$5.
We got $5 from Anchor or something like that. Yeah, thanks for having us. Bourbon Matters. You can follow us on Instagram. It's also the best way to engage with us. Bourbon Matters is the handle, or at Bourbon Matters, and we're on Facebook as well. And it's also Bourbon Matters. And we have a website actually, bourbonmatterspodcast.com, which has the bios and pictures and the episodes. So yeah, good way to follow us.
Yep. And you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, Stitcher, and coming soon, YouTube as well.
Mhm.
So,
all right. Are you guys actually starting to do video on YouTube, or are you just going to upload the audio?
yeah. So next week will be our first video episode. I'm not going to do the backlog of episodes because it seems like a lot of work. So
That's
we're
not that
going to do we're going to crack Dan's Infinity Bottle for the first inaugural video episode. So
All
it'll be a
right.
good one.
We're excited.
I'm eager to listen to that one. Do you guys have at least the list of everything that's added to it?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I got the list.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
gonna try and do the mash bills for everything, and then make what percentage of every single thing is in there. But some of them are undisclosed mash bills. So
The Mega Mash Bill.
my dream of like this is 27.21% malted rye and like all the random stuff is out the window. So I'll just have the whole list.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we know you guys do a kick-ass job with your podcast. I know you're up to what, like 26, 27 episodes now? Like published?
We just recorded episode 24.
24.
Okay.
24, but there's been
Yeah.
2 special episodes in there. So
Yeah.
it'll be officially 26.
So 26.
See, I guess I was right. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
there you go.
You know our podcast better than us. So
Yeah.
I'm drunk through most of it anyway, so I don't remember.
Well, I want to ask you guys a question before we get started. And it's really a question that you guys asked us when we did the collab with you on your podcast. We really want to understand a little bit about how you guys got started and what really drove you to actually start recording yourself bullshitting and drinking whiskey.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So, I mean, I had been looking to do some sort of podcast for a while. I was kind of like playing with the idea of doing like music and movies, and everything that I like started kind of just fell through. And so I was like kind of just gonna give up. But then when we started hanging out and drinking whiskey, I was like, well, why don't we do a bourbon podcast? And
Yeah.
Roberta was like, fuck yeah, like all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence. No, I mean, that's exactly how it started. You know, I think we told the story at some point with you guys that, and not to go too deep into our story, but, you know, I got introduced to bourbon about 2 or 3 years ago. these guys also like bourbon, and we started talking about the different bottles, different experiences. I think they started getting a lot into bourbon because I was already a lot in bourbon.
Yeah.
And so we were exchanging notes and tasting some.
Well,
Really...
Dan told me about the myth of Roberto, because I hadn't met him previously. So we went over to his house, and I saw his whiskey room, and I was like, oh my God. Then he was like, well, let's open a Taylor Rye. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I didn't even think this was like available anywhere.
Yeah.
And then I told Dan later that I had like a religious experience drinking that. So I was like, this is a good path to go down.
Yeah. It was great. We connected, and like Jake said, he was saying like, hey, let's do a podcast. It took a while. Jake was bringing that up like twice a week for like freaking 6 months. And we just decided to pull the trigger, got together in Jake's basement and started recording episodes. I think it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sounds like Roberto kind of pulled the crew together with his big bourbon energy.
Yeah.
We had a bottle like that.
Big type of energy that he has. Just let's put that out there. There's no other big fill in the blank type energy for Roberto.
I mean, there's big things, but
not a Pete Davidson guy, huh?
No.
We had a similar bottle experience. The one that really bonded us together, except it wasn't Taylor Rye, it was Long Branch. But to each their own, and little different bottle there. But Dick was saying, we pretty much got tired of just talking to each other, and Dick did a really good job at reaching out and finding you guys, and it's been an awesome couple of episodes and couple of weeks. I'm glad Dick asked all the important question about how y'all got started. We've talked about ours numerous times, and I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing that one as well. But I'm glad y'all are here, and I'll let Dick do his thing when he introduces our bottle that we will all be enjoying today.
All right. So appreciate that, Kurt. So what we're going to be drinking tonight is Old Forester 1920. This is a 115 proof offering from, I believe it's the Brown-Forman Corporation. Comes in right about $60, at least where we are locally. I think I paid like $58 today. But I want to kick it to the Bourbon Matters, guys. Any notes you have on this bottle specifically, or I'm curious, how much does it run up there?
Yeah, so about the same here.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to find here. I mean, most liquor stores are going to have it in. They might not have the 1920 in. It might be the 1910 or some of the other Old Foresters. Unfortunately, no birthday bottles of Old Foresters that I've ever seen up here. Same thing up here. Easy to find, or fairly easy to find. Good classic bourbon to drink. Prohibition style bourbon's always fun. Makes you feel like you're back in the roaring 20s.
Yeah.
You guys are like drinking it like a speakeasy now, right? There. So
good thing we're in the roaring 20s right now.
Yeah, it's the roaring 20s. Same thing.
God, so many promises.
Inflation is out of control.
The 30s start tomorrow.
Exactly. 3/4 interest rate hike today.
Yeah, exactly. Next thing you know, they're going to ban alcohol again. Jeez.
It's all good.
We can start another business there.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one. Yeah. I mean, like Dan was saying, this bottle is relatively easy to find. I mean, you find it on the shelf here in the stores, and we were talking about this at some point. Like, you can find here in Illinois, as opposed to Texas, you can find these things at the grocery store, at CVS, at Walgreens, which is pretty bizarre. When I moved here from Texas, when I was like, shit, Walgreens has liquor. It's like, this is great, and I haven't stopped drinking since.
It's just
has that effect on you.
Just the other day, I texted Roberto because he didn't have one yet. I was at our local grocery store, and I go, "Hey, Roberto, there's a bottle of Knob Creek 12 here on the shelf. Do you want one?" From the grocery, the grocery store had their case with a bottle of Buffalo Trace, Angel's Envy, and Elijah Craig in the case, and Knob Creek 12 is just sitting out on the shelf,
right next to the tampons.
Hey, those are in short supply right now, man. Watch out. All right. So then my follow-up question to you is, you talked about 1910. Have y'all experimented with 1915?
I've experimented with a lot of things, but not 1915.
I'm trying to remember. I think I actually have 1915 in the basement.
Do you?
Yeah. Because that's a lower proof one, right?
Yeah. You take 50% 10 and 50% 20, put it together. I think it comes out at 104.
Okay.
Yeah, I've tried a couple different ones at one of the liquor stores by us, but I can't remember all which ones I've tried.
Yeah, I have no clue. I have no clue.
Yeah, I can't remember which one I've got.
Well, if you want to get crazy with the cheese whiz, just mix the 20 and the 10 together and you got 15. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Nice. That's good math. Dude, I've been drinking since like 7 or something. So I don't know. I'm not making any sense.
AM or PM? Which one?
Well, no, thankfully PM. Otherwise it would have been a rough work day.
It's okay. We tend to not make sense by about the third dram, so you're going to be right on par with us.
Well, we haven't even got to the first one yet, so I think we are in trouble.
Even better. No, this one we actually rated this one in one of our first couple of episodes, and I remember it had a very good rating. We liked some things about it, so it'd be interesting to compare what we thought back then and what we think now, and see how you guys enjoy it. So, Dick, you got anything else in that? Or are you ready to get into that second dram?
So I think, Kurt, with that being said, let's go and get into that second dram, sir. All right. So we're going to kind of title the second dram, really just getting to know our friends from Chicago. So this is all about asking you guys some questions about your experiences in Chicago, specifically around sports. What are your thoughts? I know you guys have some various backgrounds and followings, but really want to better understand the culture that is Chicago sports, or really whatever your personal preferences are, whichever is more entertaining, to be honest.
Yeah. So, I mean, we kind of talked about this in our crossover episode, but we don't like Joe Buck.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Nobody.
Cheers.
His mom doesn't like him. Hey, I can really appreciate I think all of us, the Blackhawks jersey, by the way. That's pretty cool.
It's called a sweater.
Is it? I thought it was a jersey.
It's a hockey sweater.
The purists say that it's a sweater, and that's fine.
Yeah, Dan saw yours in the reflection of your reel posted earlier in the day, so I went and grabbed mine, throw mine on.
Yeah, I love it. I don't know which color I like, but I think I might like the red jersey better. But this is the only one I could find with the Griswold on the back.
The white one's still pretty cool.
It is cool. I love the white one. I gotta say, when the Blackhawks play at United Center in the red jersey, it's just hands down one of the best sports experiences.
Yeah,
out
that's
there.
the shit.
It is so cool to go to a game at United Center, at a home game again when they're wearing the red jersey or sweater. And then another thing about the Blackhawks too, if you go to the games, the national anthem, of course, is played before the game. And I forget the guy's name. What's his name?
Jim Cornelison.
Yes. And he starts singing. He's an opera singer, I think, by trade, right? So he actually sings, I think, in the Chicago Opera, and he sings the anthem at United Center. It's just
every
crazy.
single game.
Every game, 50,000 people at this place.
Does he at least get paid well for it?
Yeah, he does.
He's got all the championship. He's not in the opera anymore. I don't think he's done opera for a while because
did he retire?
He just does all the games, so he's doing that.
Yeah,
he does the national anthem.
And he travels too. Yeah, he travels too and does
a lot of the college. I was at a Northwestern game where he sang a
national anthem in a bunch of games. And my first time going to a Blackhawks game, I did the anthem's like halfway through. And everybody started cheering. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, so the tradition.
Did they see Vince Vaughn?
He's usually there. He's there quite often.
Actually, Vince Vaughn.
Oh, so jealous.
He grew up not too far from
the tradition is to go like absolutely bananas through the entire national anthem. Because I think it was a game in like 1991 where right before the game started, they announced that Desert Storm had ended, so everyone just like went cheering. Crazy through the whole anthem, and it just never stopped.
And now it's a tradition. So the first time, if you move to Chicago, you're like, I don't understand why they're being disrespectful, cheering through the anthem. I was actually concerned, like, what the fuck? Let the guys sing the anthem, and then I at some point somebody's like, oh, that's exactly how it is. But it's hands down one of my best sports experiences is sit through the national anthem at United Center. At a Blackhawks game.
Yeah, it's cool.
So that's perfect for me to set up the one thing I was really wanting to ask you guys. When it comes to Chicago and it comes to like the history of it, you guys had MJ, you had the Bulls of the 90s. What's the Mount Rushmore there? Is it the Hawks? Is it the Bulls? Is it the Cubs? What is it that takes
who was in the
precedent?
Super Bowl shuffle?
It's no one. The Hawks were big in the early 2010s. When they were winning championships, and everyone jumped on that bandwagon. And it was really fun and exciting. but it is, you have two sports teams, both that haven't done anything in ages, that people, you cannot walk through the streets without hearing anything about MJ or the 85 Bears.
Yeah.
Mind you, we're coming up on the 40th anniversary of that.
Yeah.
And it's still the greatest team of all time in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like the biggest ones ever, obviously Michael Jordan, Walter Payton. I'd probably put Dicka's got to be up there. I'd probably put either Kane or Taves up there.
Taves, yeah.
And then either Rizzo or Bryant for the Cubs.
Which are no longer.
Who's like the unsung hero of Chicago? Like, who's our Texas's Moose Johnson of Chicago that maybe doesn't get all the love? And Dick's already making a face because he's probably like,
Rex Grossman.
Nicely done.
I thought it'd be Jay Cutler. Come on,
Jay Cutler. Yeah.
If you've been a quarterback in Chicago, no one likes you except for McMahon. I
was going to say, come on.
You'll catch people now saying like, yeah, Jim McMahon was a shit quarterback. Like,
I mean, Dick could have been the quarterback of that team, and they probably would have won the Super Bowl with that defense.
I feel like he was the Vanilla Ice of that team. So,
yeah.
Oh, don't you hate Vanilla Ice?
I missed Urlacher.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
he's the one at the.
He's not the unknown. I would.
He's not the unknown, but
he's the one with the O'Hare billboards at O'Hare.
There we go.
It's the most unsung hero, or the most biggest folk hero of Chicago.
I mean, I feel like we're missing a Blackhawk.
I would honestly say Rodman, Dennis Rodman.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one.
They talk about a crossover.
Yeah,
San Antonio, Chicago.
He is not liked in San Antonio, that's
or
for sure.
Or even Pippen.
No,
he was there for what, 17 days in San Antonio?
No, well, yeah, he was there for like what?
It was like half a season.
He was there for a couple seasons.
Yeah, I mean, everyone likes to conveniently forget Rodman.
Yeah, it was always Jordan, Pippen, and then Rodman was probably one of the unsung heroes.
Tony Kukoc,
Luke Longley,
Tony Kukoc.
Yeah,
that'd be the biggest ones. I mean, there's some really old school football players like Bronco Nagurski and stuff like that are in the 30s and 40s that most people aren't going to know.
Yeah, they don't remember.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, do you want to run through all the Chicago disappointments now?
Oh, that's perfect, because that sets me up for my next question. Speaking of Chicago disappointments, but they've both won a World Series like in the last 25 years.
The mayor is a disappointment.
That's for our political whiskey show. So there was this big thing last year. I said too much about my love for John Cusack on one of our podcasts. That was probably a 5 whiskey night.
I understand.
Oh, yeah. Stand By Me.
Oh, yeah.
Time Machine.
Oh, there you go.
1408.
1408 is a good movie.
So there was a big controversy. Somebody called him out. Somebody from Barstool called him out because he was wearing a White Sox hat, I believe, when they were successful, and he goes back and forth.
He does. He's a switch hitter.
Yeah.
Can you do that? Was that frowned upon there?
It's highly frowned upon.
Extremely.
When you normally live in LA and you fly out, once a year to go to a couple games, they let you get away with that. Right. But yeah, you're not allowed to flip flop when you're from here.
No,
but do you hate him? I mean, he's a homer and he's done it for so long. He doesn't get like the pass.
Well, he's not like Bill Murray, where Bill Murray will not go to a Sox game.
No, he's a Cubs guy. He's a Cubs guy, true and true.
Nice, and I think he's a whiskey drinker too.
He is. Well, maybe at least in the movie, yeah.
I mean, he drinks everything, and I think he smokes about everything too. So
yeah. He did not age well.
I think I could party with Bill Murray.
No, you don't. You really don't. You have a team, and you don't go to Cubs games or Sox games. I mean, you go to one. But you normally just don't cross over to the next team.
Yeah. I mean, the celebrities, get their pass just because nobody really wants to deal with them.
Right.
Anyway.
But even the celebrities have theirs because, back probably about 10 years ago, there was big TV campaigns around here with Nick Offerman being the diehard, Ron Swanson being the diehard North Sider.
Oh, that's true.
And then you had Craig Robinson is a diehard South Sider. Yeah. And they would do their commercials together.
Yeah.
But it's you're one or the other. And I don't understand. I'm not a big baseball guy. I don't like either of them.
I like the Cubs.
But to me, it's like they're different leagues. Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
It's if you had an NFC team and an AFC team.
Well,
in football.
But they could play each other in the World Series potentially one day.
Okay, let's look at the history
So
there.
you got to keep that hate
That
at
would
the
be a
highest
World
level,
Series, man.
just in case.
I can relate to that. I feel like that's an Aggie Longhorn situation.
No, nobody cares about the Aggies. But I was going to bring up the Cowboys and Texans because
nobody cares about that rivalry either.
But they do more than they should because they're not even. In the same freaking conference. Well,
Cowboys fans don't even think about Texans.
Yeah, they don't.
Okay. Yeah,
I've got a surprise for you guys now that we're talking about the Cowboys.
Oh, here we go.
Are a great team. The Cowboys are a great team.
Did y'all see the clip of that weatherman that went viral?
No.
Oh,
so he was talking about the weather, and he goes, "We got a little bit of cowboy weather going on, peaking in the 90s all week, and it was
no,
yes,
that is a good one too.
That's
Holy
great.
crap!
brutal but perfect."
Where was he? What time was he in?
I don't know. It was like a 9-second clip of literally just him. That's all he just delivered right.
Like
on
the 7-day outlook.
Yep.
Yeah.
Savage.
That is classic.
So
Awesome.
I know you guys wanted to talk a little bit about Texas barbecue. I think we've talked enough about Texas sports that we don't have to indulge that. But okay, Chicago, deep dish or hot dog, and from where?
Wait, you can't choose deep dish or hot dog.
Well, give us both then.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, sure.
okay.
Deep dish.
It's not an or.
Lou Malnati's.
Deep dish, Lumalnati's, hands down.
Yeah.
There is controversy around that because some people are Giordano's.
Is that the one that does the frozen ones you could buy it like within the
I think they both do.
Lumalnati's will do that too.
Yeah, well, Lou's you can have them shipped to you.
Yeah.
But like Giordano's is in some like supermarkets.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, is that if that's what you're referring to? Yeah. Lumalnati's is only get shipped.
Lou Malnati's also has their gluten-free pizza option.
What?
Which hold on, you say that the crust is sausage.
Yeah.
So they just take ground sausage and press it.
Is that also keto?
It's totally keto. Yeah, it's
that does sound keto.
But there is no breaded crust. It is just sausage.
paleo, keto, whatever it is. Their sausage is really good, and their sausage.
I may go to Chicago just because of that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, that's why Lou's like big thing is that if you order a sausage, it's a sheet of sausage.
It's a sheet of sausage.
It's not like crumbled sausage.
Right.
It's a sheet,
and it's right on
top of the crust,
right
with
on the
sauce
with
on
the sauce.
top.
Yeah. And the thing is, Giordano's is it's in my opinion, it's just terrible. It's like eating Campbell's soup because it's just a soup of freaking tomato sauce in a dish.
They put a lot of sauce.
It's a crap load of sauce, and in my opinion, it shouldn't be like that. It's like Lumalnati's. That's why I love Lumalnati's because they have the chunk tomatoes with some of the sauce and the sheet of sausage, and then the cheese. And with the cheese, they're like big provolone slices like this big.
Yeah,
that's some good sheet right there.
Yeah. So anyway, it's hands down, I think, the best Chicago pizza.
Yeah, and hot dogs are.
Hot dogs, you got to go to Portillo's.
Yeah, Portillo's.
Or what's the one right there in Wheeling by your place? Super Dog. Yeah.
Oh, Super Dog's not real.
Well, I mean,
it's like the thing about Chicago is that every hot dog in Chicago is a Vienna beef hot dog. So they're all pretty much the same.
It's the same freaking link in every place.
I remember one time me and my buddy went to Cincinnati Reds and Cubs game, and one of his friends is from there, and he was texting him, and his buddy was like, "Oh, you gotta go get a Sky Dog."
Oh no,
we were like, okay. It was like this nasty ass
Skyline.
Is a Skyline chili on it?
Yeah, we were like, what is this?
Yeah.
This is disgusting.
It's spaghetti, man. Like
you told people from Chicago to go get a nasty ass hot dog. I was like,
yeah,
it's like, what do you like?
Yeah,
you'd think we would be like, oh, this is so good. Like, no.
Jake made a good point on the hot dogs. The ingredients are exactly the same whether you get it from a car downtown, from like a little push cart downtown, or Portillo's.
Yeah,
because the Vienna link is exactly the same thing in every single place you go, as long as they have the sign that says Vienna hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
The neon relish is the same brand mostly that everybody uses. the hot peppers is almost exactly the same brand. I think that everybody uses too. And then of course you chop
that sounds so good.
onions and tomatoes.
Yeah.
Right,
So
so-
know that you are not allowed to put ketchup on a hot dog.
Zero
in Chicago.
ketchup.
No, I agree with that.
Really?
That was a rule of Bourdain, and I live by it just because of that. So I
Only
agree.
mustard. If you're gonna put some kind of sauce, it's got to be mustard.
What about mayonnaise?
Oh.
I see you if you actually use ketchup.
Mayonnaise on a burger, I'll find
No,
it.
there's
Not
no
on a hot
mayonnaise
dog.
on the hot dog.
The one thing I'll say about Chicago pizza and even Chicago hot dog, like deep dish pizza is good on occasion, but it is a lasagna with a crust around it.
Yeah,
It's all
It's
deep dish
just a million
pizzas.
calories. Yeah.
And the same thing with the hot dog. It is just as much calories as you can throw on something. It is like I read an article once and it was a joke, but it's kind of true that the number one vegetable in Chicago is jardinera.
Yeah.
It's basically what it boils down to.
Well, that's the one
Huge.
thing
Great.
that I think most of the country, as far as I can tell, doesn't get to experience is the Italian beef.
Yes, that's a really good point, which is amazing.
Yeah,
But
like,
I never knew it until I came here.
yeah. If anyone's
Yeah, yeah.
ever traveling to Chicago, get an Italian beef. It doesn't really matter where you get it from.
It's just so freaking
it's
good.
just because
So
like
good.
they don't do it anywhere else.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
do it. They try to do it in a couple places here, but I can
Yeah.
imagine that it's nowhere just as good. But you had
Oh,
me at
man.
Peppa's. You
So,
had me at
You
Peppa's.
don't know what it's like until they put the meat in the sandwich and dunk the whole thing in the grease and then
Yeah.
give it to you.
I've had that here. I've had that here, and it was good. But like I said, I can't imagine. Dick's dying to ask something. So
I do.
I've gotta-
I have to ask. So you said that a Chicago pizza is basically like a lasagna with a pie crust, right? So I heard a little bit of like, it's not maybe like the bee's knees. Do you what's your favorite type of pizza? Like where location geographically?
Shit.
I
Like, are you gonna say like New York style is better?
I'm not saying New York's better.
Mm,
Every
no,
pizza's got to
no.
say, I like
Oh.
a thin crust with
like New York style.
I heard New York style.
no, but
Well,
not like the
no.
sleet where you
Yeah.
fold it up. Like give me a crispy thin
Yeah,
crust
it's got to be
that
crispy.
you are going to bite into.
Chicago thin crust.
So you
is-
like a Papa John's pizza?
no,
No.
No.
Chicago thin crust is so specific, and it's another one of those that you don't know what it is until you come here and see it.
Yeah. Well,
Chicago
there's a
thin crust is one. It's cut in squares.
yeah.
It's not cut in slices. It's cut in little squares.
Yep.
And it's Dan was saying it's a little crispy.
Yeah.
It's not. It don't. You can't fold that.
If you
Chicago
pick up
thin.
the piece, it holds its integrity.
Yep. Then it's good.
Okay. All right, I can get behind that. So then
there's a place down the street from me that actually makes a double decker
Yeah.
where it's one pizza and then a second pizza on top, and then they roll the both crusts over
It
to
is
make a
excellent.
giant crust.
It
so
is
good.
Excellent.
Again, we're very healthy. in Chicago.
Yeah.
That's why I gained 40 pounds in the pandemic.
so then let me ask you this. So like my wife and I are going to New York in about a month and a half. We got to do like Cat's pastrami, right? You have to go do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What is the spot when we go to Chicago, early next year after the freezes are over, early spring? Where's the spot we got to
Don't
go?
come here early next year. It's going to be freezing still.
Yeah.
All right, June next year.
Yeah.
What's
Uh,
the place where they yell at you? The hot dog place in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Wiener
geez.
Circle.
The Wiener
The
Circle.
Wiener Circle.
Yeah. So there's this hot dog stand, and you go there, and the cashiers just berate you the whole time, and then give you your hot dog.
And they start just cussing at you left and right.
It's
Like
And
Dick's last resort style.
It's like
kind
Dick's.
of, but worse.
So like a Hispanic family that I grew up in. Kind of, right?
Except for there's a black family.
Okay, so I'll be used to it. It's fine.
So the Wiener Circle actually got so famous that at some point it had its own show on True TV. And this is like 2000,
I think I have seen it. Like, is
2007, 2008.
yeah.
it open late and like people
Open
go,
late,
like
yeah.
when they're
Like,
slammed?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
they,
I-
if you take a while to decide on your order, I mean, she'll be like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Let the rest of the people order. Go back to the line.
Okay, so then my wife can't go there. Got it. Okay. Okay, so this is
So the other place you got to go to is Al's Beef.
Al's
Ooh.
beef is really good.
Yeah. If
There's
you want
one
an
downtown.
Italian beef, and they
Yeah.
have good hot dogs
Yeah, they
too.
do.
But their jardinera is the best. It's
Their jardinera.
it's
is
crazy
really
hot, but
good.
it's so good.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's my language right
And it's-
there.
Another note on pizzas and hot dogs and everything in Chicago is that it's funny because the joke is that you only go to those places when people come from out of town, right? When people are visiting you from out of
Yep.
town.
Yeah.
We know those places.
Not Eats, you go to Portillo's,
Yeah.
you go to Al's Beef and
Oh, you know what? We didn't talk about Geno's.
Geno's East.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not enough to
yeah. I
talk
mean,
about.
I don't know. I mean, I don't like Geno's.
Is that pizza?
Yeah, Geno's is good. Yeah. That's
Okay.
the like trifecta is
Yeah.
Lou Malnati's, Geno's
Giordano's
East, and
Giordano's,
Giordano's.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which and probably ranked in that order.
Yeah. I would agree.
So I know Dick's chomping at the bits. We talked about it last time. We are open session. We know we have the best barbecue state in the whole country. There's no arguing that. So feel free to ask any questions you want.
Yeah, I got a question. I didn't know you guys are from Kansas City.
Oh,
I like my wheat
I said
rye rub.
I was going to say barbecue, not sauce. Sauce, that's a different show. We'll talk about that
I
later.
won't fight you on that one.
what I really appreciate about a good Texas style brisket, there's no flair. You just get some salt and pepper, and you throw that thing in a smoker.
Yeah.
It's the way to do it.
It's all about the critique.
That's
the beer,
what they
and the
tell
patience.
you.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I've tried something recently. If you guys want to do a brisket, a little bit of Lowry's seasoned salt on there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's actually like a new flair that a lot of Central Texas barbecue joints are putting on theirs.
Huh.
So, I haven't been to other than Rudy's, which is kind of crap barbecue. I haven't been to a barbecue place in San Antonio in a while. If I go, I mean, I'm going this week. Anything I should try?
Like places that are gonna knock your socks off, or places that are better than Rudy's.
No, like
Everything.
the high end, like something really, really good. Yeah.
All right, so I went to 2M Smokehouse, which is kind of like on the like southeast side of San Antonio. It's a fucking drive, especially from where you're gonna be. It's okay. It's not anything to like write home about. There's not really there's no beer, so it's like BYOB though.
Okay.
But if you're looking for like some solid San Antonio kind of like, I wouldn't say straight up Central Texas style, but it's a solid San Antonio barbecue. It's good to go. Where you're really gonna want to go is like you want to go to Lockhart, try all the fun places. You want to go
to Lockhart in San Antonio?
No, there's a Black's on New Braunfels, but like Black's is
Got it. Okay.
Black's is the way you guys were talking about that kind of like, oh, that place Geno's East or whatever. That's that's the Black's
that's
barbecue kind of place, and it's chained out, so it's not really as good. But like if you truly go to Lockhart, that's pretty good.
But Lockhart, Texas, you're not talking about Lockhart barbecue.
No, I'm talking about Lockhart, Texas. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because in Dallas, there's Lockhart barbecue, which is amazing.
No, not that place. We still want to go to Goldie's up in Dallas. That's kind of like on our list right now.
That's on the Franklin's is next because I haven't been there.
Man.
Yeah,
Franklin's is hands down the best in Texas, bar none.
Well, you have to understand.
Find me about it.
Dick would do some things to Aaron Franklin if you had.
I would leave my wife for Aaron Franklin.
He has a little crush.
He teaches the like master class, right?
Yeah,
he does. And then like if you want like the Bible of Texas barbecue, just buy his book.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a book. Okay,
he's in the movie.
Actually, it's 2 books.
John Favreau too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he's just like a unassuming looking dude.
He opened up like an Asian barbecue place here in Houston that is on my to-do list, and like apparently it's like barbecue? Apparently it's like done so successful that they're opening up another location. I'm not sure if it was in Houston.
It's a partnership with the dude from that show though. Yeah,
it's not just him, but I mean it's been popular, so that's still on the to-do list. But
nice. So don't know if we answered your question. Sorry, I went rabbit hole on you guys.
So one of the things on my list, if I go to Texas, is to go to Meat Church in I can't remember. It starts with a W.
Waxahachie. Waxahachie. My parents actually live right there.
Really?
Yeah.
John Kitna was a high school coach there for a little bit.
Oh, no way.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the middle of nowhere, man.
Yeah. This guy makes these bomb ass seasonings. They're so good.
Good to know. I've driven through it many times. I've never actually been.
Yeah, he's like a Traeger partner and stuff, so he does like a bunch of cooking videos.
Yep. I've done the pellets, which it's hard. Like the whole pellet thing, I get a lot of shit for it. First off,
I'm a pellet boy.
And second off, I'm gonna give you a pass if you're in Chicago. Kurt lives in Texas and has a fucking pellet smoker.
Well, I can't hear you because my steaks are so good off my fucking Traeger. Anyway,
four solid smoker manufacturers right around you.
So the pellets are good, and then I've had the voodoo seasoning from Meat Church, which it gives a nice little kick. It's nice, but definitely check that place out if you get down there. But we still got a couple places to go on our tour of barbecue this year. We did Snow's. We've got Franklin's coming up. And then, like you said, we want to do Goldie's in Fort Worth by the end of the year because they have the holy grail top 50 places in Texas every year.
Yeah.
And Goldie's was number one.
Wow.
Any institutes in Chicago we're talking about when it comes to barbecue?
Smoke's probably the biggest one. SMOQ.
Smoke is great. QUE
is
on Irving, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I think so.
Because I mean, Smoke's really the only one that comes to mind for me.
Yeah.
Smoke is in the city.
Usually, if it's a barbecue place in Chicago, they're copying someone else's style.
And
just
Smoke is Texas
bringing
barbecue.
it there. Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Actually, they market it as Texas barbecue. Because they were in what's that show? Man versus Food.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it was that. Oh, no, it was Diners and Dives with that other
okay.
with
Guys.
Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri.
So it's really famous in Chicago because it was in
Guy
a couple of
Ferrari.
shows actually.
Okay.
And in the line's always out the door. It's one of those where you can't just go and sit. You have to wait in line, get your food, and then get a table. And that line is always like wrapped around the building a couple times.
So it's probably like your C grade Texas place.
Probably.
Yeah. It's really good. I mean, I've got plenty of Texas barbecue, and I gotta say, Smoke does a really good job. I like it.
That's
Nice.
that's the business model though. Like have enough of the know-how and then import the equipment to a place that doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Like if you brought, Chicago style pizza down to San Antonio, like you'd probably go crazy because I think it would do really well.
That's not true. There is a Chicago pizza in San Antonio, and I've ate there, and it's. Remember, you were saying
I said do it well. I didn't say-
tomato soup lasagna.
Tomato Campbell's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it wasn't bad, but like I said, I
Yeah.
haven't had Chicago, so I can't tell you. But
Dude, you got
I really want to get to our fourth round because I think that's going to be where we talk about a lot.
We're not even to the
So
third one yet.
If you'd let me finish, Dick, let's give the nose on this glass so we can get into the third round because let's face it, we're talking about the Texans, Bears, and Packers. There's probably not going to be a lot to talk about. So, nose on the glasses, gentlemen.
We could either do notes or ratings, whatever y'all want to do.
Well, it's your show, so I think you guys always do the ratings.
No, I think you guys should do the ratings with us.
Well, we can do the ratings with you. Yeah, I mean, we'll prove you wrong if that's what you guys want.
Nice. Then you know what? Go for it, my friend.
Well, I'm pouring everyone else's here real quick. Let me get. Sorry,
I mean, I'll start off with a little color assessment. This is a nice like Coca-Cola color.
Yeah.
It's pretty dark.
Yeah.
Pretty solid like caramel color. It's nice.
Yeah. I agree with that. Maple syrup, caramel.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying this. I mean, this is a great freaking bourbon.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't know. The nose is okay for me. I'm probably gonna throw it in the B range. A lot of maple syrup, a lot of caramel. I don't get a lot of oak smell. It's not a very strong alcohol smell to it. But nothing really like exceptionally different from this one at all. I'm gonna leave it as a B.
Interesting.
I'm smelling some like maple on it.
I like the maple smell.
Yeah,
Oak,
I'd give it
vanilla,
a
maple.
I'd give it a B+ on the nose.
I would say on the nose. I enjoy the smell. It's what 115, so the alcohol does kind of come through for me a little. So I would say B+.
All right.
Once
so-
again, done like veterans. Sorry,
There we
Dick.
go.
Did you want to go first, or would you like me?
I'll go first. I'll let the champion start first. So the only thing to add is brown sugar and cherries, what you guys are saying. And the cherries are super faint. They're like a dark cherry. But I have to ask the question to you guys. If I made this a bourbon candle and it smelled just like this, and you lit it in your kitchen or whatever, would you be happy or unhappy?
Oh, I do that every day.
Oh man, this is great. I love how it smells. I love it on the nose. To me, this is great.
Yeah.
Like this is a
I
solid
like
A-
sweeter
for me.
bourbons too, or whiskeys.
I see what you're trying to do there. On that criteria, I would say yes. But in terms of what I want to smell out of a bourbon I'm going to drink, I think it's in that B range.
Really?
Right.
It's too sweet for you, or what?
Yeah, I it's almost too
It's very brown sugar.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I kind of like that a lot.
I mean, that's a good example of this is like a candle. Like you get those common smells of that brown sugar, that's maple smell out of it, but you don't get the other good bourbon scents out of it.
it's fair.
I like this
All
one.
right. Nice. So, Dick, what'd you say on the nose? You're on mute.
Yeah, the mute button works really well.
So I like this one a lot. It's a solid A- for me.
Nice.
You know what?
Uh,
I'm not gonna I don't tend to switch my opinions, but I'm gonna go with your A-. Well, we don't rate them anyway, so it's kind of like, right. I'm gonna go with
maybe
A-.
now you will.
Yeah, exactly. But I really enjoy smelling this. It's really nice.
So for me, I think this may be one of the few where I actually like the taste more than the nose, which doesn't happen
We're not at
as
the part
often.
yet.
No,
I'm
you're
getting
so
to
out
my
loud.
nose, Dick.
Read the bullet points.
So, like I was saying, going back to my nose, trust me, I won't miss it. I do get the ethanol on this a little bit at 115, a little bit over my sweet spot at 110, but I mean, 115 is still great. A little bit of ethanol on this. You guys nailed it with the cherry and brown sugar. It is a sweet nose.
Yeah.
Once you get through that ethanol, and because of that, I will probably go B- on this one. B- on the nose, but that cherry is heavy once you get to it.
Yeah, Dick nailed the like dark cherry.
The cherry, yeah.
I wonder where he got that from.
Definitely
Weird.
it wasn't me. So, Kurt, it's
Dan
funny you
hasn't
say,
been popcorn, so who knows?
Kurt, it's funny you say ethanol because at this price point, I mean, it's almost as cheap as gas now. So there you go.
Dude, you can definitely use some mellow corn as gas these days.
Oh, jeez.
Paying way cheaper per gallon.
We've mentioned mellow corn in 2 episodes in a row. That's
Dude, I'm a big fan of mellow corn.
problem there.
We're gonna review it, I think, at some point in one of our
Yeah,
episodes.
we're gonna squeak it in somewhere.
Yeah.
There you go. Won't be long to talk about. So that's good. That's good.
Dude, I
It's neon yellow and it tastes like corn.
Yeah. And it's mellow.
The end.
Yeah. Done.
Ready for the third dram, guys?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Smooth.
Let's go.
All right. So this one's a little bit of my forte, a little bit of the sports area. We did talk about it in the last one, but this one, it's real simple. I know we've got some different teams around the table. I still don't know who Dick roots for these days. If he wants to chime in on the Cowboys, sure. He already said they're a great team last week. But I know we got some Texans, Cowboys, Bears, Packers fans in the room. Just really go around. What are the expectations and what would be a successful season this year?
Ooh, I'll start. One win for the Bears would be exceeding expectations this year.
Damn.
That's a low bar.
1 win? Justin Fields takes no steps?
You know what's going to happen is we're going to be like barely above 500. We're going to lose every game to the Packers that we play. We're going to get into the first round of the playoffs and lose, and then we're not going to get a good draft pick.
Right.
It's going to be the same thing probably for another like 2 or 3 years until we
Nailed
finally implode completely.
Just like the Cubs.
And then we'll finally be able to get a good draft pick.
Yeah.
Sounds like the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Very similar to the Cowboys.
For Green Bay, the last 3 years, I was almost dead on the prediction every 3 years. So they said the last 3 years we're going to lose the NFC Championship game. We didn't quite make it there last year, but I felt if we would have made it there, we would have lost it. So I still feel like I was pretty close. This year, I don't think we'll get to the championship game. And I think it's going to be a completely different year for Green Bay. I do not believe. I think the loss of Devontae Adams is bigger than anyone's going to realize. But at the same point, what people haven't been talking about a ton outside of this area, Green Bay probably has the second best running back tandem in the league and probably on their way to one of the top 5 best defenses in the league. So if we can adapt well, we just need A-Rod to make a couple big throws here and there. And then, he's going to be better than a game manager, I know he's not going to turn the ball over, but I feel it's going to be a lot different looking Green Bay Packers team than what we're used to seeing this year. They'll still be a playoff team because everyone else in the North is god awful.
Is it because the drama's not there? Like it's like last year was
now they're saying he might be dating some girl that just said she's not a witch. So there's still going to be that drama.
Does she like not take showers?
God,
like what is
guy?
Fill me in.
Her name is Blue.
Okay. I was just gonna say that
it's all rumors, but this is typical Aaron.
Where does he find these people?
I don't know.
At Packers games,
doesn't he find him a back page or something?
There's some freaky deaky outcastonly.com or something that he's going to.
Yeah.
To find these crazy.
I thought he was engaged.
He was.
And then he broke up with her, and then he apologized or said she was the best thing he ever had, or some shit like
and
that.
her
right?
name was Devontae Adams, or
Then he
what?
moved
Because-
on, or what? I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't. He's a
I
weird
don't
dude,
know.
but he's a really good quarterback. So it's just kind of like you live with it, right? Like,
Yeah.
he is pretty cool. You know, so
Yeah.
no, he's not. He's just a weird dude. I love the guy. I'm glad he's my quarterback, but I would want to have a beer with Brett Favre way over Aaron Rodgers.
Oh,
Minus.
Aaron Rodgers
Okay,
is a
okay. Let me
nut job.
rephrase this. Having a beer with Brett Favre without having to see a dick pic over
Good
beers
point.
with Aaron Rodgers.
What about
that's arguable. I mean,
what about a beer with Jordan Rodgers over Aaron Rodgers?
Oh no, fuck that guy.
I don't think either of them talk to their family. But anyway,
So,
So what was-
speaking about weird quarterbacks.
John Watson.
Yeah. So let's get into that drama because he's no longer in Houston. So, Kurt, what's gonna happen this year, buddy?
dude, there's no drama. It's awesome. I mean, shit. I've been watching training camp videos, OTA videos, and I didn't have to hear one thing. Okay, maybe a couple of things, like 24, 25, possibly 26 things about Deshaun Watson, but that's a different story. No, dude, Davis Mills, I know it's easy to just throw on air and stuff. Looks good. I think he actually did a lot better than a lot of the rookie quarterbacks last year, given what he was working with. And like I said in one of our earlier episodes, if he tears it up, 8 wins would be awesome. If he shits the bed and we're drafting a Bryce Young or something next year, hey, what are you going to do? I'll still put on the Texans jersey, go to a couple barbecues, not talk about the Cowboys, and life will be good.
That's good life right there.
One thing I just realized from your guys' perspectives of just being fans of awful teams is that you guys don't have any drama. Where if you look at the Packers, we got a crazy ass quarterback that dates the weirdest people he can find.
Well,
You talk about the Buccaneers. Is Tom Brady going to play? Is Tom Brady not going to play? Is Gronk going to be here? All the good teams are having drama, like Lamar Jackson with the Ravens. Like
What do
you
you
got all
mean,
these good
What do you mean
teams
no
that
drama?
are having.
No, that's a good
Jerry
point.
Jones just came, like 3 girls came out of the woodwork saying, "I'm your daughter." That's drama.
Yeah, but that's gone on for like 30 years. That's a typical thing.
Fucking Jerry Jones.
But
man.
the Bears' big drama is the McCaskey family.
Yeah, the owners. They're if they should sell the team or not. Once the old hag dies, it's going to be really up in the air.
Yeah.
Isn't that every NFL team like every 5 years?
Like the Texans. Well, Cal McNair's
like the Patriots, like the Broncos, like it just goes.
yeah.
So this is something that I did not know until fairly recently, but apparently Virginia McCaskey, who's like the current like
She's George Hallis's daughter.
the
She's 98 years old.
chairwoman of
Yeah.
the organization, was apparently caught up in a potential murder plot of George Hallis
Jeez. Oh my God.
in like the 80s. Like this was like a big deal.
It sounds very Chicago.
That's
Crazy
like
shit. Like
I've never heard of that, and that's because I kind
it
of
was
pride
clearly
myself on.
swept under the rug as quickly as possible.
Did she do that plot with Al Capone? Like, was that something?
That's
that
what
happened
I
back
was
in the
gonna
day?
say.
Her husband, like some guy, married into the family, and then George Hallis just dropped dead one day. And then the
That's-
guy took over the
That's a little
organization
drama.
from
Yeah.
outside the family. And everyone was like, whoa, hold on.
little-
Like, what?
Yeah,
The Legend of Chicago.
Yeah, classic Chicago, though.
that is.
Okay, so before we talk about fantasy and ask if you guys do a league, I've got to ask. So, Packers lore, is it Rodgers or Favre? And do y'all do anything with Jordan Love anytime soon?
Jordan who?
Okay, that answers that one.
In
Jordan
ter-
McLovin.
in terms of quarterbacks for Green Bay, Rodgers will go down as the greatest ever because he will be the greatest quarterback that's ever played in Green Bay. He will still not be more beloved than Bart Starr.
Okay, there it is. All right.
Bart Starr will always be the most beloved
Love
quarterback.
that answer.
And then it's going to be a toss up between Rodgers and Favre of what you think about football.
If Favre didn't go to the Jets, he probably would take that
That's a
spot.
good point.
What about the
I don't know.
Vikings? I mean, isn't that more of a controversial move?
I mean, it's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
kind of funny, but it's I don't like everyone's forgave and forget there, and that's I think part of it's because of Brett's flip flopping, and then part of it is the team saying like, you know what, we got to get him out of here because we got this other thing sitting right here that's shinier and new and way better.
Well,
and
if Rodgers wasn't such an ass,
yeah,
he'd probably be in a better spot
Rodgers has such a
historically.
weird thing, but he's such. I mean, you can't deny his stats is the way he plays quarterback. It's. I mean, what
It's the weirdest.
the last couple of years, 10 combined interceptions in 2 seasons with close to 80 touchdowns. Like the quarterbacking is better, but if you're a diehard old school football fan, you'll say Favre over Rodgers.
Yeah.
If you're into the way the football is played these days, it's definitely Rodgers over Favre. But it'll Bart Starr will always go down as the most beloved.
I feel like that's a Republican Democrat argument, like right there. Like you're either one side of the aisle or not, and you're like hard one way or the other, right?
Yeah, that's probably a pretty fair assessment.
Nice.
Polarized.
Do y'all do any fantasy league? Is there any of that going on?
Yeah, but I don't really know enough to be like really dangerous.
Yeah, no, me.
I just kind of pick whoever Yahoo tells me to, and then go from there.
ESPN picks it for me. I'm like, this is great.
I'm in a few leagues. I will say though, years ago, before you were even around, I helped his now wife.
Or he was born, or
no, before we knew who Jake was. I was friends with his wife before I met Jake.
Well, Dan is almost at retirement.
Yeah,
so.
I'm getting close.
Shit.
I drafted a team for his wife once for her friends league, to the point where like she's like, I can't start the draft. She had something going on. So she comes over and I'm sitting at my desk with all my shit up and I'm doing her drafting team. And I'm sitting there drinking my beer, eating my chips. She just comes over and grabs the chips and queso and starts eating it. I pick her team. I manage her team. I talk shit for her team, which everyone knew that then it wasn't her.
That's awesome.
Especially the way I talk shit.
but did it win?
She wins the league.
Oh shit.
There it is.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Ouch.
you get a pat on the back, my friend. That's a solid friend right there.
Damn.
And that's
All right,
that's the last time I've won a fantasy league.
That was it. Anyone even you?
Nice. All right, Dick, ready for the palate on that glass?
Yeah, we could do that.
Shit, my glass is empty, dude.
Means you're gonna have to pour another one.
Fill her up, Buttercup.
I gotta wake up at 2 a.m. to go to San Antonio. It's weird. Like we've never seen. I was telling Jake and Dan, I've never seen 5 a.m. flights from Chicago to San Antonio. It used to be like 7:30 and 2, and then maybe one at 6, and now it's 5 a.m., 3 p.m., and like 7 p.m. So anyway, I'm waking up at 2 a.m. to catch a 5 a.m. flight at O'Hare.
What is that, like 4 hours?
No, it's like 2.5.
Oh,
Three
nice.
three tops.
This direct shot, right? You're not gonna have to lay over in Dallas or anything.
Yeah, but the O'Hare security is the big kicker. You never
5
know
a.m.
how
should be okay though.
Yeah, you're find that early.
Yeah,
5 a.m. should be
usually, yeah.
But yeah,
Sometimes
you're right.
you never know.
Well, no, you're right. I mean, if you're there between 9 and 5, you're fucked, man. You are standing in line for like 3 hours there.
Well, on our honeymoon, me and my wife, we got there early. Our flight was really early. So when we got to the airport wasn't technically open yet. So we were standing at the security gate watching TSA agents just kind of like stare at the ceiling for like 20 minutes before they finally opened the lines up. It was like, okay, why are you even here if you're not going to like process people? Like,
Because it's the government.
Yeah.
That's great. I have a 10 a.m. flight next week, so I'm excited about that now. Great. I'm gonna get 5 in the morning.
Which one's better, O'Hare or Midway? Like which
O'Hare.
one's O'Hare? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
I've never been to
It's not
Midway.
even comparable because Midway is just all Southwest and a couple of Delta flights.
You'll get
I fly as Southwest, so thanks for that.
you'll get shot driving to Midway. And the worst part about Midway is the runway is super short. So as soon as those wheels
my
hit,
God, dude,
you
hit
are in the seat in
brakes.
front of you.
They hit the brakes. It's a
Good
small.
note. Good note.
So Spirit
In
Airlines.
Southwest, Spirit goes to actually Midway. Yeah. So I mean, and O'Hare. And
Yeah, it's at
Southwest
both.
started flying into O'Hare now. So
Yeah.
I've taken a couple of Southwest flights out of O'Hare because they started flying there. Like this year, I think.
Yeah, and if you go to O'Hare and I don't remember what airline it is, you get to walk under that neon
You go to the neon
underpass
tunnel.
thing. So
United. That's a United terminal. Yeah.
Oh, it's
yeah.
United.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's not even a comparison.
Or you can go on was American and reenact the Home Alone run down the hallway.
You can do
know?
that.
Because they haven't renovated it since, or what?
No, it's exactly the same.
It's exactly the same.
All the flags are there and everything.
Well, and it's funny because at Christmas time, which Home Alone was shot in Christmas at O'Hare, and Christmas time is so fucking annoying because you're like rushing to go to your gate, and there's like family after family after family taking pictures in that stupid place.
Yeah,
you're like, no, just move to the side. I gotta go to my flight. But anyway, and Midway don't have international flights except for Southwest goes to Mexico, a couple of places, and that's it. So you got to go to O'Hare for if you're flying international.
Insert Super Trooper joke.
International too. So no, I'm just kidding.
All right, so let's do the palette on this thing. Y'all want to go first? You want us to?
You go. We'll go next.
Yeah,
Kurt, you want to go first?
Sure, why not? As I finish another glass. So this one, I actually like the taste on this one, the palate a lot better. This one, you really get the sweetness. I'm getting like brown sugar, a little burnt, a little Coca-Cola on this one, like you said earlier.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry. I came to.
Well, hold on. Ask him. Okay, can you define the Coca-Cola? What is it again?
Coke.
Yeah,
Cola?
but the syrup, it's a little Coke syrup, right? Not
yes,
just
Coke,
like.
Thank you. Yes, Coke. Oh, yes. Like before, they just changed the machines. You're the first one using it.
Oh,
yeah.
nice. That's heavy syrup. Yeah,
little syrup.
It's like when the machine, the Coke machine has its period.
Yes, not this week though. Maybe next week for me. But yeah, a little bit of cherries. I really like the palate. The 115 doesn't bite like a 115, like the nose had the ethanol. This one, I actually give an A- on the palate for this one.
A-?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Okay.
All right. The only thing I'm going to add to that is like traditional bourbon spice and a little bit of oakiness, but nothing like super powerful. The tang, like the bite it has on my tongue, at least right now. I don't know if it's because I've had 3 or what, but there's still like this refreshing like pop as it hits the tongue. So
bourbon butter.
I'm not going to call this bourbon butter tonight. It may just be my palate, but I'm going to give this A.
Not a
So hold on. An A. It's being grammatically correct.
AA. I go to AA meetings, and they're also good.
Be the guy outside saying, "Hey, you want to pull before you go?"
I was like, "Can you give me all your bourbon at your house, please?" Which is, hey, earlier in one of our episodes, we were talking about. I was telling them, so we were trying some Jack, right? It was like a bottle and bond Jack Daniels, I think. It's like, can you do whiskey and Coke and still drink it neat? And I think I won the argument.
No.
Yes, you can. You can drink whiskey and then do Coke, and then you're drinking your whiskey neat and doing lines of Coke, and then you're still doing neat.
I was really following along there, and you said lines. I was like, that does make sense. Okay.
You never have to mix it with anything. Anyway, so yeah, Dick, I'm sorry I interrupted. So
no, is that called the Macaulay Culkin when you do it that
way? It's called a Home Alone.
It's called the Vince Vaughn.
No, I'll give this one an A, but it's over to you guys.
Roberto, right, you're the resident expert.
Well, just very similar notes, actually. You said cherry, and the cherry flavor is actually there. It's really nice. It's like chocolate cherry for me. So, like when you get one of those chocolate cherry bars, I mean, that's exactly what it tastes like a cherry Garcia, actually, which I'm a big fan of. Cherry ice cream. Syrup for sure, like maple syrup, cinnamon, caramel, and you said something about like a slight, maybe just a little oak flavor, and it's true. I don't think it's overpowering the oak flavor. I don't think it's overpowering. It's there, but it's really nice. And then the vanilla notes, and I agree with you. The bite on the tongue is really nice, and it doesn't last forever, right? It don't last like 100% rye whiskey that we've had before, where it's just lingering spice.
Yeah.
This is a good bite, but it goes away pretty quickly.
It's a nice spice.
I would say an A. Yeah, AA.
Go ahead, Jake.
Me? All right. I'm getting like barrel aged cherry Coke.
Oh,
I
never ate that cherry Coke.
I like it. Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, a little bit of oak, but I'm getting a pretty solid cherry Coke flavor.
Very
So
nice.
yeah, I'll give this a solid A.
Solid A. Yeah.
I'm
like
gonna
that too.
I'm gonna come in at a B plus. I like it.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that it's kind of like a tale of two bourbons when you drink it. So when it hits the front, when you first get the first sip of it, it is very, very sweet, and you get a really strong bourbon finish at the end of it. You get a little bit of that alcohol on the back end.
Yeah.
It sits there for a couple seconds and it doesn't linger. I like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, for me, it's a little sweet.
I like sweet.
At 115 proof, it is a very kind of syrupy for me.
Yeah.
But it's still a very, very good bourbon.
So I got to ask this, and this is me kind of a bridge to our next section, right? So Dan, specifically with what you said, you seem to be the one that's kind of being a little bit, I'm going to say a harsher critic on it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But what do you like? Like, give me, I know what this tastes like, but give me what you think is like A plus off the top of your head.
For reasonable things. Honestly, a couple of my favorites anymore that are in the same price range of this would be the Smooth Ambler Contradiction, as well as the Bellmead Reserve, Special Reserve. I like those. They're around the same proof. They're close to 110. They're right around that $50-$60 price range.
Good pick.
They have a little bit more complexity without as much of the sweetness to them.
Is the Bellmead weeded?
They have a bourbon.
The Bellmead Reserve, Special Reserve, is not weeded.
It's not.
But they're both MGP, I believe.
Yes.
No Bellmead is.
They're blended. Yep. They're both blended.
So yeah, Dan just likes low class whiskey. You know, it's
Dan.
We had a whole conversation about this before. Like,
didn't you just
MGP.
this guy is saying this. He just bought a $250 bottle of blended whiskey last night and a $150 bottle of blended whiskey last night.
And the names were
Joseph Magnus cigar blend and
I can see that.
That's a good one.
So before he gives me shit for blended, he spent $400 on 2 bottles of blended bourbon last night. So let's just throw whatever Jake has to say is out the window.
Sounds like he's living the good life.
So if I told you the 2 bourbons that I've ever spent that much on was a $250 Garrison Brothers Cowboy bourbon and a $150 Sinatra Jack Daniels, would you judge me as hard?
no.
Okay.
Because Jake's bought those,
man.
Yeah.
Jake's got him. I think we've tried it.
My Sinatra I got for like $90 at Costco though. So.
That's a really good deal.
That's a good
we
deal.
tried the Cowboy. Did you open the Cowboy?
No, not yet.
Haven't,
I'm
right?
saving that for the Texas series. That we do.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
There we go.
If I can find some in San Antonio.
Balmoria's out right now. If you're interested.
Okay.
Ooh,
I got one of those.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a Coca-Cola looking bourbon, that is a
yeah.
Coca-Cola looking bourbon.
That's all of them. They're all dark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think
That is
that's
dark.
probably the darkest bourbon I've ever had.
That is very dark. Yeah. Good point. Very nice.
Well, we do like our sweet tea down here in Texas, so sweeter the better to us.
Diabetes in the glass.
There you go. Fourth dram.
Let's do it.
Fourth dram. All right. So this is the one that we wanted to get to because we just wanted to get an overall sense of what the whiskey scene is like in Chicago. So in order to kind of stay on track, because I'm sure we could talk about this for like 2 hours, we just wanted to shoot the headlines at you guys. How competitive is it? What are the good whiskey joints there in Chicago? What are y'all's thoughts on Texas whiskey, which we have dabbled in a little bit before? And then Dick likes to make fancy smancy cocktails. We'll see how much y'all dive into that. So how competitive is it over there in Chi-Town?
Stupid competitive.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of Sazerac. Texas gets a lot more Sazerac than we do. Illinois don't really get anything, which is really hard to find. Like the Wellers and you name them. You know, whatever Sazerac is, it's hard to find here.
Yeah, and everything gets overpriced.
Overpriced for him. Yeah, for sure.
Way over retail.
Yeah.
Unless you know the liquor store or the liquor store owner and you have like a good relationship and they'll charge you, like actual retail. The example we love to point out is this liquor store by Dan's house has a bottle of George Stagg that's he's selling for $900.
Yeah, well, that and just the other day I walked in there and he had Knob 12 out for $120, And I bought that for $75 a jewel where they had 4 on the shelf.
Yeah.
Do they only do it in like those color cut out stars? This is like 900 on it. You know what I'm talking about?
No, it's
discount.
It's behind the it's behind the counter.
Yeah.
And they just had the bottle sitting out. And then you ask how much it is, and then they tell you, and then they go, "Are you serious about it?" Because when they say that, they're wondering to know how much you'll pay cash for that bottle.
Yeah. They don't
So it doesn't go through the register.
Yeah.
That's what the liquor store.
Yeah.
That's what it's like here.
Because I was like, the Stag, I was like, I'll buy that for cash. Like, yeah, I'll pay like 300 for it. And the girl was like, okay, let me go talk to the manager. She comes back. She's like, yeah, best he could do is 800. I was like, that's stupid.
Bye.
You know what you bought that for?
Yeah.
Like you bought that for like
$45 or
$40.
Yeah.
Like
so stupid. That's how it is. I mean, it's ultra competitive. It's hard to find anything good. I mean, there's good stores. Like if you go to Benny's or Liquor Barn.
Yeah, and that's the big benefit of Benny's is that they do not charge over
Right.
retail.
I mean, that's like specs here.
Yeah, exactly. But it's hard. I mean, it's hard to find anything. Even our guy Sam, who finds some really good bottles, he's having a hard time finding anything Sazerac.
Yeah.
And you know, he'll do a little bit of a markup because he's got to make money.
Yeah.
But he's really reasonable, and that's the only store I think that we found that you can find some reasonable stuff that he'll sell you.
So I picked up a bottle of Weller Special Reserve today for $40 for the 175 at Specs.
Yeah.
Just in honor of you guys, because I was like, I get the 1920 and I got to do it for them.
Wait, the 750.
The 750.
Yeah.
But my question for you, kind of building off that Sam's point, how was the National Bourbon Day bourbon tasting there?
Oh, that wasn't at Sam's. That was at another local place.
Okay.
Gold Eagle. Yeah.
Okay.
And that was they have that week or almost weekly where they'll have a distiller come in, and it was Coppercraft and Joseph Magnus, and everyone was there to try and win the raffle to be able to spend $250 to buy a bottle of cigar blend.
Which I won and my wife won.
There you go. Okay, that's where it came from.
And I got a Mary Hill out of this, so that was good.
Yeah.
Gold Eagle is one of those that's just, you know, it's a great place, but same thing. You know, again, Illinois is the one. It's not by store, it's by state, and Illinois gets screwed on all the allocation. So Gold Eagle, actually, when they get something, they're pretty fair. They just put it on Instagram and say, we got 10 bottles of Weller, come get it, first come, first serve. You got to be on top of the Instagram. And if you're lucky enough to see it on time and then go to the store, you get a bottle.
One of the things that they do exceedingly well, though, is they do a lot of barrel picks.
Yeah.
And then they have like, you know, 20 cases of a barrel pick. So like your odds of getting something are pretty good, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, they do. They have a ton of barrel picks. And if you follow the Gold Eagle Instagram, their owner, Jake, is always in friggin' Kentucky or Tennessee doing a barrel pick.
Yeah.
He's like, shit, I did not win the job lottery on that one.
Hashtag dream job. Yep.
Exactly.
So we've talked about this before. Usually getting the expensive bottles is a hard thing to do around here. And there's places that we have, like for San Antonio, we've talked about 1919 several times. In fact, if you are going there, that is definitely a place to check out, because that's one of the places that we've gotten more of the expensive stuff for a cheaper dram or two. Houston Reserve 101 is a nice little spot. What are the Chicago places that maybe I don't want to spend $500 on the bottle, but maybe I'll spend $70 to try a glass or two?
I mean, I just went to one.
Were at?
Yeah, Friday I went to and I got to say, if you're, I mean, Chicago is obviously the third biggest city in the country. There's 5 million whiskey bars that are well known and you know, people frequent, and it's always a good time. I went to one that's been around. I think Delilah's opened in like 1930 something. I mean, it's old as hell. It's in the north side of Chicago, and they have 500 whiskeys on the menu. So when you walk in, you ask for the Bible, and they know what the Bible is, of course. Like, hey, can I have the Bible? They give you a book about this big, and then you just flip through them. To your point, that's a really good place to go in and try anything that you haven't tried before or that you can find. They mark it up pretty nicely. So, you know, I was telling them that, for example, an E.H. Taylor single barrel So wait, no, I always get them wrong. Why? Which one's the more expensive one?
The barrel proof.
The barrel proof.
Yeah, the green label.
Yes, the green label barrel proof. I think they had it for like $45.
That's not bad.
Ounces. It's probably more than I would pay.
You had one that. What was the one that was just ridiculous? You said thinking about getting.
There was a Bruichladdich 23, which Bruichladdich is a Scotch. It's not a bourbon.
Peaty as hell Scotch.
Dude, I'm a big fan of Scotch, and I think we're gonna do Scotch in one of our episodes at some point.
Lagavulin and 16 all day.
Yeah, exactly. Bruichladdich 23, they had it for $95 an ounce. So I was like, yeah, I don't know. I would love to try that, but I'm not gonna pay $95.
If you can get out to the suburbs, it's about half that.
Yeah, there's a place by us that I heard had good whiskey. And I the first time I went there, I was gonna meet Roberto and his wife there. And I walk in, and behind the bar, they had all the Pappies on the shelf. They had the Stag Seniors. They had all that. And like Pappy 12 was 20 or $25. The Stag Seniors were $25 a pour. Like the Pappy 23, I didn't try, but that was like $80.
It was 80 for 2 ounces.
That's a really good price.
But you're going to be about 45 minutes northwest of the city for that. But
that's
worth
it.
That
place is pretty good. And they got we've been there a few times. We haven't been there in quite a while.
I know that we should go back.
And there's the me and Dan went to the shooting range one day, and we're driving back, and Dan's like, you want to try CYPB?
Oh yeah,
I was like, okay. So he's like, all right, go down this road. And we pull up to this bar that's like bar. Completely unfinished wood. Oh, yeah. It looks like it's going to collapse at any second. Yeah. I'm like, why are we here?
I go, look, we'll eat it. We're going to drink this on the patio. Because if you walk in, the bathroom smells like HPV.
Dude, I'm telling you, the historical marker.
That's a good smell.
Marker right outside that says this is the birthplace of chlamydia.
It's like a used car smell.
I have no idea. I live in a small area, a small town like that isn't really even considered a suburb anymore. And this is just
you got downgraded. Like, is that what you mean?
No, I mean it's so far away. It's so far out of the city.
Like he's like 2 seconds from Iowa,
and it is the world's shittiest bar. But they have CYPB. They have some of the Remus stuff.
Yeah, they had all kinds of stuff.
And it's like I walked in with Jake, and it was right before his wedding. And I said, "I'll get you one." They had it for CYPB for $30 a pour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, last weekend single. Let's go in. We'll get some of this. We'll sit on the patio so we don't get diseased. And the guy's sitting there, no sleeves, obviously, because we're in Hickville. He's like, this is $30. I'm like, yeah, I'll take 2 pours of them, just neat. And he's like,
I am jealous because
like he's like pouring it. He over pours on the first one. He's like, fuck it.
Yeah. He had no idea what he had.
No.
I still haven't tried. I have a bottle. I still haven't tried it.
But
I don't want to open.
Yeah. So there's some random places like that. But that and like I said, unless you want to know.
I mean, to get that though, just think about the mountains and mountains of Fireball that he's
selling. He's just selling Fireball all day, and it makes sense because it's Island Lake.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. But again, I'll go back to Delilah. I can't even talk anymore because I've been drinking for 3 hours. I'll go back to Delilah's because if you're in Chicago and if you're in the city, like if you're staying downtown or something, Delilah's is like true Chicago. I mean, it's the north side of Chicago. It's beautiful.
Where is it? Lincoln Park?
It's in Lincoln Park.
Yeah.
So Lincoln Park's very historic. I love
their album.
Yeah, except for that's Lincoln Park.
Pour some out.
That's a different Lincoln Park in California. But yeah, I would go to Delilah's because it's true Chicago whiskey bar. You go in and the crowd is great. The neighborhood's pretty cool. You go get some Mexican food at 2 a.m. right next door. I mean, it's great. So I recommend that. It's a good place.
Yeah. So, you mentioned Dick likes his fancy cocktails. So when you're in Chicago, you should check out the Aviary. It's a very like upscale cocktail bar.
Aviary is good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun.
Dick makes his own smoked old fashions. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty tasty.
Dude, we have smoking kits. Mm-hmm. I haven't done one in a while.
I've been promised multiple times I was going to get a smoked old fashioned, and they never bring it.
We just keep forgetting to bring.
You guys have it's the whole like glass container. You have
the wood chips. Yeah.
I'll see. I do it different. Like it's a kit. My wife got it for me somewhere, but it's a side plank of a oak barrel, and it's got like a little ring and you can stick your cup into. And so you take the I don't know, like the sous vide, propane lighter thing and get that caught on fire, and you just smoke your glass before you pour it in.
I have one of those too. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's simpler. It's a lot easier.
That's one of the ones I have. You put it on top of the glass and it just smokes it. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
If you want to set your house on fire, that's the way to do it.
All right.
So we'll keep it simple before we go into the ratings. Texas whiskey, good or bad?
Good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good.
Favorite.
All right. There you
Don't,
go.
other than Balcones. We were talking about this last time.
I like the Garrison Brothers single barrel. It's a really good one.
Garrison Brothers. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'll say the Belmora. That's probably my favorite Garrison Brothers I got.
What's the other one in North Texas? Garrison Brothers. What's the other one? I forget. I keep
Balcones is in what?
Balcones is Waco.
But there's also
Merriman Green.
TX.
TX, but there's another one. There's Balcones,
Merriman
TX,
Green
and
is
something
blended.
else. Or maybe not.
They're in
Iron Root. But Iron Root?
Oh, Iron Root. Yes, that's
in DeSoto, I think.
Good. Yes, that's what I was thinking about. I think hands down Garrison is probably my first one. TX is number 2. Balcones is just amazing, but you told us to leave Balcones out of the equation. So
do me a favor and pick up some Maverick if you see it. And if you don't see it, I'll send you guys some essential oils of it, a variety pack.
And still Austin.
Normally
still Austin's the other one.
Oh yeah, we haven't cracked this open yet.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
What is that?
Still Austin.
Oh, is that the?
There you go.
Oh, that's the musician, but that's a cast strength, right?
That was another import.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it completely sucks, sorry.
I'm in the import-export business.
Order over here.
Exactly.
All righty. I think it's about that time. You want to get to the rating of this glass overall?
Let's go, man.
All right.
I'll start. I'm sorry.
No, go for it. Take it.
No, you started it. It is what it is.
You're our guest. Go for it, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. Got it.
B+, no other comments.
A-. Overall A-.
Yeah, I'm gonna average my score and go with an A-.
A-.
I like their style. Quick and easy. A-.
That's how Dan likes it.
I knew that was coming.
So did she.
That's what she said.
Boom. All right.
All right. So, Kurt, you want to go and close us out, sir?
All right. So we talked a lot about Chicago. We had our buddies over here from Bourbon Matters. We talked a little bit of sports, expectations from our teams this year, and then basically we had a good time just shooting the shit. So, Dick, where can people hear us shoot the shit at?
All right. So, Drammers, as you already know, at 4THDRAM on Instagram is the best way to follow us. But you can also find us at fortdramandgold.com. And if you're ever questioning anything Kurt is saying and see if it's really bullshit or not, or you want some better opportunities to get in contact with the Bourbon Matters crew, just shoot us an email at fortdramandgold@gmail.com. But most importantly, making sure that you're following us on all the social medias and your podcast streaming services, including YouTube. And the most important thing about this crossover episode is to make sure that you are in touch and following the Bourbon Matters crew. And I'll kick it over to the Bourbon Matters team to tell you a little bit about where to get in contact with them again.
Yeah, no, thanks for having us. This was great. It really has been, and we really enjoyed the episode where you we collaborated with you, so that was great too. Truth Social, CNN Plus. What else? Where else can people find us?
MySpace.
In MySpace.
Yeah. Yes, how many defunct platforms?
The metaverse.
What about 4chan? Do you guys have a Reddit thread there?
No, we're
Craigslist.
8chan exclusively.
There's also the OnlyFans account. But it's a little rate.
Oh, we don't talk about that.
Is that all feet?
OnlyFans. OnlyFans_ Jake's got the goods. So anyway, no, thanks again for having us. This has been a blast. You can find Bourbon Matters on Instagram, which is truly where we have the highest engagement. And the handle is Bourbon Matters. Facebook, we have Bourbon Matters as well. And again, a lot of the content we cross post on Facebook and Instagram is really good. And then we have a website, bourbonmatterspodcast.com, and you can see pictures of us. And I think we have our Instagram feed. Actually, we copied that from you, by the way, because I was like, Dan, you gotta step up your fucking game. These guys have their Instagram feed on their website, and we don't have shit. We were like behind 27 episodes. We had episode 1, 2, and 3, and now finally we have up to 27, I think, on the website. So again, and then the podcast. Where can they find us?
Yes, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, Stitcher, and soon to be YouTube. So check out the video episodes. It should be coming out starting next week.
Yeah,
soon.
Next week.
Whenever.
Soonish. 2 weeks.
Awesome. So with that, we always do a quote of the episode, and I know Kurt has an excellent one lined up that is very, very specific to the Chicago area, near and dear. So Kurt, why don't you close us out, sir?
Absolutely. Once again, thank you, Bourbon Matters, for joining us here today. It would not be right unless I used a quote by one of probably the greatest athlete from Chicago to ever live, the great late Walter Payton. When you're good at something, you tell everyone. When you're great at something, they tell you. So no matter what you're doing, keep working at it, and eventually you're going to get feedback and you're going to enjoy it. So thanks for joining us tonight. We did what we do best. We had some fun. We made some new whiskey friends, and it's been great. So to the next snap, into the next dram.
Drink on, Drammers.
Cheers.
Much more inspirational than
Beautiful.
Roberto just telling everyone that he's a talent.
I know.